You wake up, and for one stupid, blissful second, you forget where you are. Then the cold hits you, not the crisp morning chill of a palace, but a damp, bone-deep cold that reeks of stone, rot, and stale bread. This isn't Versailles. It's the Conciergerie prison in Paris, the so-called antechamber to the guillotine. The year is 1793. Your name is Marie Antoinette, and today you're going to die. Before we dive into the dark side of history, take a moment to support the channel. If you enjoy chilling tales and the grim realities of the past, consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Alright, the Queen awaits. So, you're the most hated woman in France. Your husband, King Louis XVI, has already had his appointment with what the revolutionaries affectionately call the National Razor. And now, your ticket has been punched. The clock strikes 6. It's go time. There are no ladies in waiting, no opulent wardrobes to choose from. Just a couple of grim-faced guards and a jailer who looks like he hasn't smiled since the Middle Ages. They hand you your outfit for the day, a plain, threadbare white shift. Think of it as the original minimalist aesthetic, but, for your own execution. You were once the icon of fashion, dripping in silks and jewels that cost more than a small village. Now, this simple white gown is your final statement. It's meant to signify your purity, your martyrdom. But to the roaring crowds waiting outside, it just makes you a better target. You get dressed. Your fingers, once adorned with rings, are stiff with cold. There's no mirror. Maybe that's a blessing. Your famous blonde hair has turned prematurely grey from the stress, and it's been crudely hacked off at the nape of your neck. Why? Oh, just to make sure the guillotine blade gets a nice, clean shot. Thoughtful of them, isn't it? Now, you might think, okay, this is awful, but at least I'll have some privacy on the way to the, event. Wrong. Your husband, Louis, got a closed carriage. A small mercy. A final shred of dignity. You get the open cart. This isn't just transport. It's theatre. It's a victory lap for the revolution, and you're the unwilling guest of honor. You're being paraded through the streets of Paris like a captured animal, exposed to the full, unfiltered hatred of a city that once adored you. You protest. Of course, you're still a queen, damn it. But your pleas are met with a shrug. The time for niceties is over. This is your punishment for every rumored extravagance, every flippant, let them eat cake, which, by the way, you almost certainly never said. But hey, why let facts get in the way of a good story, right? The gates of the prison creak open, and the sound hits you like a physical blow, a wall of noise. Thousands of people, their faces twisted with rage, screaming for your blood. Death to the Austrian! Death to Madame Veto! They shriek. The cart lurches forward, and you have to grab the sides to keep your balance. The smell is overpowering unwashed bodies, rotten vegetables, cheap wine, and pure, concentrated fury. Let's rewind for a second. Before you were shoved into this mobile humiliation device, you had some visitors, not friends or family, the Sanson family. The Sansons were the hereditary state executioners of France, a family business passed down from father to son for generations. Imagine that on career day. My dad's a baker, my mom's a doctor, and my dad, Charles-Henri Sanson, chops off the heads of the rich and famous. His son, Henry, was there, and he actually kept a diary. He's our fly on the wall for your final moments. He wrote that when they entered your cell, you were pale, but your eyes were bright, and your lips red. You weren't crying, you weren't begging. You rose to meet them and said, with a voice as steady as steel, "Gentlemen, I am ready." Absolute queen energy. Right to the end. You hold out your hands. The rough rope scrapes against your skin. This is the ultimate indignity. Your hands, which once held scepters and signed royal decrees, are now bound behind your back like a common criminal's. At this moment, a priest enters, but he's not your priest. He's a constitutional priestone who swore an oath of loyalty to the republic that's about to murder you. You had already refused his services. The sight of him, a collaborator in your eyes, is a final, petty insult, but you're too exhausted to fight anymore. You nod. Let him come. His hollow prayers mean nothing to you. Okay, back to the cart. We're rumbling through the streets of Paris. It's the worst Uber ride in history. The crowd is so thick the horse can barely move. At one point, a high-ranking army officer, full of revolutionary bravado, breaks through the guards and shoves his clenched fist right in your face, spitting curses. According to Henry Sanson, you don't even flinch. You just stare back at him with a look of such regal contempt that he actually backs down. The constitutional priest, to his credit, pushes the guy away. Even he has his limits. But while all this chaos is happening, you're not just passively taking it. You have a secret mission. Your head is up, your eyes scanning the facades of the buildings lining the Rue Saint-Honoré. You're not admiring the architecture. You're looking for a number, a specific house number. You see, before you were taken, a loyal priester, real priest, one who hadn't bent the knee to the revolution, had promised you something. He told you he would be hiding in a window at a specific address on the route to the scaffold. He couldn't be with you, but he could see you. And from that window, he would give you absolution in extremis, the final blessing. There. You see it. For a split second your eyes meet. A face in an upper window. A subtle nod. A secret sign that only you understand. You bow your head, not in defeat, but in prayer. The blessing washes over you. A tiny, invisible shield against the hatred all around. When you look up, Sanson's diary says a faint smile touched your lips. You got one last win. You outsmarted them all. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think was going through her mind at that exact moment? The cart finally clatters to a halt. You've arrived at your destination, the Place de la Révolution. And there it is, the guillotine. It's taller than you imagined. A gruesome wooden tower topped with a gleaming, angled blade. For a single, heartbreaking moment, your composure cracks. You stare at the Tuileries Palace in the distance, your former home, and you whisper, so softly only you can hear it, "My daughter, my children." The sight of the scaffold brings you back. It's time. As you prepare to get down from the cart, one of the executioners, Charles-Henri Sanson himself, bends toward you. He's seen kings and revolutionaries die on this spot. But something about you moves him. He murmurs, "Have courage, madam." You look at this man, this agent of your death, and you see a flicker of pity, humanity. You manage a small, genuine smile. "Thank you, sir," you reply. "Thank you." A few steps separate the cart from the scaffold. You walk them slowly, but with a firm, unwavering stride. You are Marie Antoinette, Queen of France, and you will not stumble now. You reach the wooden steps, stained with the blood of those who came before you, and you begin to climb. Henry Sanson wrote that you ascended those steps as majestically as if they were the grand staircase at Versailles. You reach the top. There's a moment of confusion. The priest is still trying to give you his useless prayers. Sanson shoves him aside. He wants this over with. As his assistants grab you, tying you to the plank, you use your last breath to cry out, your voice ringing across the silent square. "Farewell, my children. I am going to join your father." And that was it. An assistant executioner held your head up for the roaring crowd to see. Your body, the vessel of the once revered Austrian she-wolf, was unceremoniously dumped into a common grave in the Madeleine cemetery, your coffin filled with quicklime to speed its decomposition. There's a popular legenda, ghoulish little piece of trivia, that while the gravediggers were on their lunch break, a young woman named Marie Groscholz, who would later become the famous Madame Tussaud, snuck in and made a wax death mask of your face. It's a great story, but there's zero historical evidence for it. Still, it adds to the macabre circus of it all. Decades later, in 1815, after the chaos had settled and the monarchy was restored, your husband's brother, the new King Louis XVIII, had your remains exhumed. There wasn't much left, just a pile of bones, a few strands of your now white hair, and, bizarrely, 2 perfectly preserved elastic garters. They gave you a proper royal burial here, at the Basilica of Saint Denis, alongside the kings and queens of France. You finally came home. So, what's the takeaway here? Marie Antoinette was a complex figure. Was she a clueless, extravagant airhead who helped bankrupt a nation? Maybe. Was she a victim of vicious political propaganda and misogyny? Almost certainly. What do you think? How should history remember Marie Antoinette? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for another trip into the dark and fascinating corners of the past.